Hey, what's up, everybody? You know what this is. It's your boy Will, and I am doing a video about what everybody's talking about right now, the election. The election that should have been over yesterday, but it's still going on today because we have something I predicted the Democrats would do. I knew they were going to cheat. It's amazing. It's amazing how obvious the cheating is. Let's take Virginia, for instance. 100,000 votes for Trump. And then all of a sudden, they take the votes to Biden. And they said it was an error. There were 100,000 votes that should have been for Biden, but they went for Trump and they had to switch them back. Even though we all know that they scan these things and the computer deals with it. But that was a massive fuck up by the computer, right? Okay, I'll believe that one. I'll believe that I have a bunch of $3 bills here that I can use to go buy me some liquor at the stove because I'm gonna need to drink after a lot of this shit is over. Then let's take Michigan. Michigan, Wisconsin, North Carolina, Nevada, a lot of places just literally stopped counting votes last night. They said they needed to go home and catch some sleep. Now, I am a political junkie. I watch every election night, and I remember sometimes staying up to 2, 3 in the morning, and they're still counting votes. But all of a sudden now in Democrat-controlled strongholds, they got to go to sleep now, and we'll just finish counting in the morning, and they leave the votes, the ballots unattended. And matter of fact, there's reports of some people saying the ballots went home with certain people. Now you can't tell me that's not right for some type of shenanigans. The fix is in. But let's go back in history. The fix has been in ever since Trump got elected in 2016. The Democrats have never, ever accepted the results of 2016. They said it was the Russians, collusion, that helped Trump get over. And then, let's fast forward, we find out it was really the Democrats who colluded with Russia. It was Hillary Clinton who put out false information in the Steele dossier. It was the Democrats who spied on Trump's campaign. It was the Democrats who did all the dirt. But see, since they had the media in their pockets, the media hates Trump more than they hate anything in the world. And they were going to do everything they needed to do, whether they had to lie, cheat, and steal to beat him. They gave him negative press coverage 7 days a week, 365 days a year for the last 4 years. From some accounts, I think it was Media Research Center said it was 92% negative coverage on all mainstream media platforms. Negative coverage for Trump. That's unbelievable. That is out of pocket in every definition of the phrase. That is completely out of bounds. The press is done. The press is done. We never have to believe anything the press has to say in mainstream media, whether it's ABC, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, CNN, Fox News even now, because they have a new liberal leader over there, general manager or whatever you want to call it. Matter of fact, a lot of these stations said they're going to double down on their left leaning after the election. You can't make this stuff up, people. So you got negative coverage. You got a coup attempt. Well, let's start off. You had the Steele dossier, the so-called illegitimacy of 2016. Then you had the Russia collusion Mueller debacle, where we found out there was nothing going on there. But they used that to distract the American people, to build up frustration with Trump, to delegitimize his win. Then we had the Ukraine debacle, where they tried to take a phone call and then they used it to impeach him once again, to frustrate the American people, to grind on us, to beat us down so we can get frustrated and be just totally, oh, I'm just tired of hearing about this guy. Tired. Social media either throttling people's media posts or just outright banning people, putting them in Facebook jail, putting them in Twitter jail every time they would try to do something positive, or it would expose the Democrats or their liberal media allies in some way. How they misreported the outright riots, with Michelle Obama saying mostly peaceful protests with her ugly ass. I mean, come on, man. This was all in the making, and last night was the culmination of their plans. And the biggest weapon that I knew they were going to use, and I've told you this in videos before, was going to be COVID. And Charlottesville, the whole good people on both sides thing, I said get ahead of that a long time ago. I have been said that Trump needed to get ahead, his team needed to get ahead of Charlottesville, because that was going to be one of the biggest lies that they told. Hell, their candidate said the reason he got into this fucking race was because of Charlottesville. I knew that was going to be a big problem. Then, on top of Charlottesville, COVID happened. And COVID really happened while was gaining momentum, because we should have been paying attention to COVID, but we weren't, because we were too busy trying to impeach Trump over a damn phone call. So they went to the Intelligence Committee, not the Judiciary Committee, but the Intelligence Committee. The Intelligence Committee under Adam Schiff should have been looking at COVID, but they were looking at Trump because they hate that man so much. They didn't give a damn about the health and well-being of American citizens. And all of a sudden now they care. And all of a sudden now they're calling Trump a murderer now. First he was a treasonous Russian agent, and now he's a fucking murderer of 220,000 people, supposedly of a virus that he created. You cannot make this shit up. So this has been in the making. They wanted to wear the American people down so that when they, and oh, don't forget with the whole mail-in ballot thing, because that was part of the COVID conspiracy. See, they beat us down with these lockdowns. They tire us out with the mask and all these mandates, not letting us see our loved ones, and just beating us down with something that's 99.6% survivable. I even got it and survived. Now, I have underlying conditions, so I caught it a little harder than most. But my wife, she caught it, but it wasn't nowhere near as bad as what I caught. And I have other friends who caught it, and it was basically a cold or a really bad cold, and they got over it in a few days. But they wanted you to think that if you caught it, you died. Plain and simple, you catch it, you die. You would think that you literally would spontaneously combust if you caught COVID, if you look at the mainstream media. These people wanted to scare us so that when you went to, they said you can't vote in person. So we got to get this mail-in ballot thing. And everybody knows that if you send out millions of ballots, that's just rot for fraud. That is just going to be the best place. If you want to commit fraud, that's how you're going to do it. And the culmination of everything I just discussed in these last 9 minutes, the culmination was last night. The Democrats' plan all along was to get these mail-in ballots and use them as some way to lie, cheat, and steal this election. I don't know about you, but I am fucking tired of Democrats. I'm sick of their dirt. I'm sick of their lies. I'm sick of their faces. I don't even like fucking with Democrats. They are evil people. And if they're not evil, they're stupid and dumb and gullible. I'm sick of them. Sick of leftists trying to turn this country into socialists. Some kind of socialist utopia or some communist utopia which does not exist. And that's what we're going to get. Now, our saving grace is that we might keep, and I'm saying might, the Senate. It's going to be a slimmer majority than what we had, but we'll have it. I think we got about 5 or 6 seats in the House. And we control the courts. So if they want to do all this bullshit about getting rid of the filibuster, they might want to add 2 states, Puerto Rico and DC. They want to pack the courts. They're going to get a battle on their hands legitimately in the Senate and in the House. But see, I'm not very confident in the Republicans because Mitch McConnell's being a bitch right now. Kevin McCarthy's being a bitch right now. And none of them are saying anything right now about these motherfuckers trying to steal the goddamn election. What we voting for these bastards for if they're not going to fight for us? The reason why people love Trump is because he gives 0 fucks and he fights for us. Republicans, get off your ass and start fighting. Because if you don't start fighting, we will. We got the guns and we know how to use them. That's all I got to say. We'll find. I'm gonna do. I need to stop slipping on my damn videos. Because I got a family and I want to protect my family. I love them more than anything on this earth, in this universe, in this galaxy. I love them more than Star Wars, and that's saying something. Don't fuck this up, Republicans. Don't fuck this up, Trump team. Because if y'all don't do something, patriots will.